Thanks for joining me again. Hope you got your brushes and you're painting along with me. This is the Big 8 brush and I'm just wetting this Fabriano Watercolour Paper all over with just clear water. Then I'm just going for a bit of, where shall we go? So a bit of raw sienna, a bit of alizarin crimson in there as well. And just more crimson in there. Just sort of random effects I can connect with really. More raw sienna. Just bring that down to the bottom of the paper. And I'm just going to dip the tips in. I'm going to go into a bit of ultramarine, a bit more alizarin crimson. Let's just darken that slightly. Oh, let's see what we can come up with now. Let's pop that in up there. And then there's a water line up there, somewhere up there, so I'm just seeing how that works. Let's make that a little bit darker. Alizarin Payne's grey, slightly darker. Bring that down there like that. Right, I'm going to use a piece of card, just see what it looks like first. Now quite a high horizon line, I'm sort of up 2/3 of the way up. I'm wondering if it'll work better. I think it'll work better if I put it in rather than take it out. So what I'm going to do is same sky colours, bit of more alizarin, bit more ultramarine. I'm going to start somewhere up there. A bit more water. Let's come down there like that. Just change the flavour slightly with this raw sienna. Bit of ultramarine in there. Leave that sort of unbroken lines there. It just looks like there's snow or something on the mountains. So paper stretched slightly, so I'm just going to pull it tight so it's leaning flat against this piece of plywood I've got leaning against the easel. And then what I'll do is give it a very make a few little cloud shapes before it dries. That'll do. We have a very quick dry. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to a lighter colour. I'm going to clean the brush and then go into a bit of raw sienna. That's sort of coming down there like that. Just off the bottom of these hills. Push them in. A little bit of burnt umber there just to change it slightly. Slight variation. A bit more on this side. A bit more raw sienna. The water's something like that. Let's just darken that a little bit. I'm just adding a bit of ultramarine to the mix just to darken it. A bit more on this side. Just bring that down slightly. Waterline slightly lower on this left hand side. little bit darker. A bit more brown, a bit more blue, really dark mix. And what I'll do, just scrape out a few little rocks here and there. Just bring that down a little bit more. Right, let's get our piece of card now. Well, these ones are a little bit closer, so these are a little bit bigger. I don't want these too big, they're going further and further away. I want to keep them nice and small. It's still a little bit wet, so it's filling in a little bit, so probably not the worst thing in the world, because I do tend to overdo the rocks a little bit, so I'll just keep them a bit more subtle. I think that'll do for now, I think. Possibly use a little bit of this flat brush just for some really sharp, narrow strokes that I'd normally do with the height brush. Unfortunately, it's that well worn, I can't get a straight edge from it. It's just bits of mud coming out from the bank. On this side, let's just get that a little bit dry, take some of that water off. So what I'm doing, I'm just keeping the brush sort of parallel with the bottom of the paper. I'm just dabbing, just dab, 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 dab. Just short little, very short little strokes. And these are just meant to represent the where the sort of banks of the land meet the water. Also a little bit of mud and rocks and whatnot protruding from below the water surface. I think that'll do for now. So that's that bit. So coming further down, closer to us, closer to our sort of vantage point here in the foreground. There's a little bit of green, so I'm going to go into I'm going to start with a bit of lemon yellow, just straight in there. I'm just going to push it up like that, and I'm going to go a bit of ultramarine, a bit more lemon yellow, a bit more yellow. Let's pop that in. Maybe in a bit of brown as well, varying it a bit more. Back into the green. Actually, I'm just constantly varying the colour, trying to keep it interesting. Let's go in right up to there. Just darken out a little bit. I think what I might need, well, ultramarine, more ultramarine, a bit of burnt umber there, just sort of muddy bits here and there, and bits of things growing on the ground. Burnt umber, ultramarine. I'll give that a very quick dry. Some darker bits in there, so back into that burnt umber and ultramarine. some dark bits down there. Dark down there. Back to the flat brush. I just want to put some slightly darker bits on that far bank. So they just want to be a little bit darker. What I might do, I'll just scrape out those rocks, or some more rocks, just to sort of blend it in a bit better. I've gone over some of the rocks that I did. A bit more on this side. Again, I might just scrape those out again. I think that piece of colour. Just scrape them out just slightly. Okay. A few little rocks just here and there, just blend that in slightly. Try not to overdo it too much. I think it just needs a focal point, so I think a little man. I'll have to give it a quick dry first before I get all paint all over my hands. What I'm doing, I'm just looking alongside like that so you can see the light, you can see whether it's dry or not, the way the light shines off it. So let's switch, right, look, need a focal point, so little man walking his dog. So I'm just taking a little brush, just a bit of dark colour on the brush. Where should we put him? I'm going to have him up there somewhere I think, just walking over these rocks. So I'm just start off with the body. Doing a sort of round sort of shape, and then a little bit higher. And just up there. Little dog stood on the rocks. The shadows and things going on. Blend that in like that. So that's. I might have done that a little bit smaller because, well, I don't know, I can live with it now, I think. I'm just going to have a couple of little birds. 3 little birds up there, and then last, finally down in this corner I'm just going to stick my name. I'm going to call that one finished. So let's see what it looks like with the mains on. So here's the painting with the mains on. So if we go and have a closer look at it. The sky, the sort of lighter area of the sky, sort of raw sienna, alizarin crimson, which I've brought all the way down to the bottom. And then for the right hand side, slightly darker, a bit of ultramarine in there, a bit more crimson, Payne's grey. The mountains on the horizon line, that's sort of 2/3 of the way up, quite a high horizon line, but I've used the same colours there. You see little parts here where the paint's broke a little bit, looks like snow, just catching on the side of the mountains, and then where the paper was still wet, you can see how it just sort of softens off into the distance, especially over here. You see soft edges as opposed to more harder edges here in the centre where the paper was still a little bit dry. And then below the mountains, then we got a band of raw sienna with a little bit of burnt umber mixed in amongst it. And then where the river sort of bends round, as on the banks itself, I've darkened it slightly, a bit more ultramarine and burnt umber to create this sort of darker colour. And then I've sort of scraped in a few little rocks here and there to break it up, make it a little bit more interesting. A few more on the other side as well. Use the flat brush here just to get this really sharp edge, because my hake is so worn. Into the foreground, put these lighter, sort of various light green mixes, and then dried the paper, and just to really get some darker colour on it, just try and get some sort of contrast between light and dark, make the foreground a little bit more interesting. Then just to add a focal point and a sort of sense of scale, got our little man there with his dog perched on the rock. Finally, we've got the birds there flying off over the mountains. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing. Any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I'll see you again soon.